This conflict started on 7th October 2023, but the Palestinian says that this struggle started much earlier.
Friday, October 6 Palestinians has been killed. But the Palestinian life did not make any news in any screen worldwide since January 1st, 2023 till October 6th, Friday, October 6th, 2023, more than 400 Palestinians have been killed. Anyone worldwide hear about anyone? Anyone? No. Because our life for the media or the complicit Western media is very cheap. But if there is one single Israeli Jewish being killed in Israel or in the occupied West Bank, all the media worldwide will go to repeat this narrative: terrorist Palestinian, terror, 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 terror. The Palestinian in West Bank is suffering in a daily basis from the daily terrorist attack by the Jewish settler who is attacking the Palestinian again in a daily basis in West Bank.
Is the international law same for
No,
all the
international
countries?
law can apply for only for the
Weak.
poor country, weak country,
Weaker
but
country.
international law cannot apply for Israel. International law is not apply in the very powerful country. Take a look just recently what happened for His Excellency President Maduro. What happened? What will go to happen in Greenland? All of this. Where is the international law? There is no ceasefire. There is still Israel is still up to now since announcement of the Trump plan up to until yesterday, approximately 500 Palestinian, more than 1,444 or 45 different type of violation of the ceasefire conducted by Israel. Everything is collapsed in Gaza, but unfortunately, again and again and again, no one even started hearing or became hearing about what happened in Gaza. There were tens of thousands of, surgery went without anesthesia in Gaza. When we have video with that for these issues. I personally born in a refugee camp. This is the question. This is the issue. This is the issue behind October 7. This is the issue behind the Palestinians. There is a very rich history, unfortunate history. Unfortunately, this school of thought is still supported by many Western countries, and they used to use one slogan for it, which is Israel have the right to defend itself, but no one of them dare to say that, and the Palestinians have the right to defend themselves, and the Palestinians have the right to liberate themselves.
How does Palestine see Hamas? As a political group or as a resistance movement or something else?
You, the Indian people, have two schools of thought. One of these schools of thought, which is represented by the great man Mahatma Gandhi, which is a peaceful school of thought of resisting the colonial, the British colonial. And there is another school of thought, which was utterly, completely also supported by many of them Indian people at that time, which is represented by Bhagat Singh, the great martyr Bhagat Singh. Both of those schools of thought, 180 degree between their thought, how to liberate and how to become free. This is normal. This is not the first time in the history. Biblical Israel, which is the promised land of Israel, which is from Nile River to Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, part of Turkey, South Sudan, or Jordan, of course, Palestine, and South Sudan. All of this is biblical. Majority of the support that we used to receive it, we still receive it, and we will continue to receive it. It came from the hands of India. Yes. The great Mahatma. The husband is the one who refused the partition plan of Palestine. Jawaharlal Nehru. He's not a Muslim. But he's one of the key persons for our political life as a Palestinian, as Arab. You're going to find a lot of names after Nehru up to date in Gaza, in Palestine.
Are you ready to have a debate with Ambassador of Israel?
I'm ready to challenge not only the Israeli ambassador and the fugitive from justice, the Israeli prime minister. And anytime. Life, it should be life. I'm ready.
Hello everyone, this is Sana Qaiser and you're watching TBJ Media podcast. Today's episode is not about opinion but about understanding. For months now, people has been watching Gaza and Palestine through screens and numbers while following breaking news. However, today we want to hear directly from someone who represents their people, their pain, and their perspective. We are honored to have with us His Excellency Abdullah M. Abushawesh, Ambassador of Palestine. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Thank you so much indeed, Sana Qaiser, for having me, and at large to extended many thanks to TBJ Media, Station Media, at large, of course. And when you ask me, how are you? Thank you so much, of course. But I have one very important issue to shed light of it today for understanding. And I would like to stress and to extend many thanks to you because you shed light of understanding. We, the Palestinian, had not been understood long time ago. We had denied, we had been denied to tell our story. Yes, there is a lot of reports about Gaza, about the Palestinian people, but all of this is reports. The people did not understand our question, did not understand the root of the Palestinian misery, or did not also understand or digest the Palestinian history. With that, again, thank you so much for just many things, but on top of that, understanding. It's very important.
Before we go deeper, I'll start with the present reality. How are the conditions in Gaza right now, especially when it comes to basic needs like electricity, water, hospital? How people are surviving day to day when the resources are limited?
Again, Sana, when you mentioned understanding, this is very important. But again, to understand the issue of the Palestinian people, it's not only in Gaza, it's the whole entire Palestinian people worldwide is suffering. With different, of course, rate, different type of suffering. Even the Palestinian refugee in Lebanon, in Syria, in Jordan, everywhere, even the Palestinian who have a U.S. citizenship is suffering today because they are a Palestinian and because there are a huge media empire which is following the Palestinian, following their narrative and fighting against any single issue related to the Palestinians. So that when it came, it's not only in Gaza, but Gaza at these days, since 2 years, more than 2 years, on the eye of the storm itself. But even the Palestinian in West Bank is suffering in a daily basis from the daily terrorist attack by the Jewish settler who is attacking the Palestinian again in a daily pace in West Bank. But back to Gaza and to the humanitarian situation, unfortunately. So again, I will not stop using the word understanding. See, once you shed light on Gaza issue, you back or you jump directly to the humanitarian issue, as if the Palestinian question is a question of a humanitarian aids, a humanitarian supply, and all of this. The question of Palestine is a pure political question. It was like this, and it will continue like this. Unfortunately, because the Israeli mass destruction in Gaza and the daily needs of the people who is suffering and still enduring hunger and starvation in Gaza, so that the people or the media worldwide, the discourse of the media worldwide, concentrate on the basic needs, which is natural, because once we have a misery, once we have a devastating situation, we will go to focus in the basic need. And unfortunately, Israel, supported by many Western media, on top of that, of course, the United States of America, is converted the issue just for us and for you in the media and for the entire political or for the entire international community, is to concentrate only in the basic needs. When, and back to your very exact question, yes, starvation is there. Even the first phase of the what's so-called the Trump plan to end the comprehensive plan or to end the war in Gaza, which called for a ceasefire. There is no ceasefire. There is still Israel is killed up to now. Since announcement of the Trump plan up to until yesterday, approximately 500 Palestinian, more than 1,444 or 45 different type of violation of the ceasefire conducted by Israel. The humanitarian aid, which was called, or the Trump plan called for a full and enough humanitarian aid to be entered Gaza through, of course, and to be distributed by the United Nations different entity. Unfortunately, 1/3 of this amount that is needed in Gaza is entered to Gaza. When it came to we are in the mid of the winter, in the very high season of the winter. The people, or the vast majority of the Palestinian in Gaza, is living in a makeshift shelters, tents, and all of these stuff. With the storms that struck Gaza, ultimate vast majority of those people spend many days even without tent, without under the rain. We have many of those infant child whom was died because of the cold situation. We are talking about the infrastructure is completely collapsed. Schooling, we had lost 3 years of schooling for the people or for the children in Gaza. Hospitals is not the best case scenario is working at 20 to 25% of its capacity. Again, the infrastructure is collapsed. Everything is collapsed in Gaza, but unfortunately, again and again and again, no one even start hearing or became hearing about what happened in Gaza, because everyone think that the war was ended and now it's there is no war in Gaza and no consequence of the war. Even with the end of the last bullet that will be shot by the Israeli occupation army, there is another wars that the Palestinian will going to endure it. War to survive, war to educate, war to have sufficient anesthesia, for example. We did not have a sufficient anesthesia, so that even during the war there were tens of thousands of surgery went without anesthesia in Gaza. We have video with that for these issues. So that again, even with the end of the war, the classical war, there is a lot of war that the Palestinians will going to endure. On top of that, how to survive in this devastating situation, how to survive under the rapids, and how to rebuild their society and to back to the international arena with their political file, not the humanitarian file.
Many people believe that this conflict started on 7th October 2023. But the Palestinian says that this struggle started much earlier. So from your perspective, what is the part of the story that the world often misses?
Two things here, and this is my responsibility as ambassador of the State of Palestine to India to say that it's not a conflict. What was between India or your ancestor, your Indian ancestor, 100 years ago or more than 100 years ago, and with the United Kingdom, was it a conflict or something else? You used to call it colonization or occupation. It was not a conflict. There was a colonizer whom is colonizing your country. So that what we have in Palestine, it's not a conflict. It's an Israeli occupation. What we have there is a consequence of a Nakba that we endured. A Nakba means catastrophe that we endured it in 1948. This is very important because names and wording is very important. And again, back to your question, yes, because the people, especially the new generation, whom is woke up in October 7th, that Saturday, and to believe that the Palestinian monsters, so to speak, attacking the Israeli border. Israel did not have a border, and killed innocent Israeli civilian. This is not the case. October 6th, Friday, October 6th, 6 Palestinians has been killed. But the Palestinian life did not make any news in any screen worldwide since January 1st, 2023 till October 6th, Friday, October 6th, 2023, more than 400 Palestinians had been killed. Anyone worldwide hear about any one of them? Anyone? No. Because our life for the media or the complicit Western media is very cheap. But if there is one single Israeli Jewish being killed in Israel or in the occupied West Bank, all the media worldwide will go to repeat this narrative: terrorist Palestinian, terror. But the Palestinian life means nothing for them. This is just in October, and during the 2023. But the misery of the Palestinian was started long time ago. And to be very frank, and I used to say it, and I will continue to say it, it was started by issuing the despicable, notorious Balfour Declaration, when the United Kingdom, your occupier, your colonizer at that time, 1917, November 2nd, 1917, United Kingdom at that time have zero footprint in our homeland, have zero right, zero legal right, zero historical right. But even though, out of their arrogance as empire at that time, they declared, they gifted, they pledged our homeland to the Khazarian Jew. When I say Khazarian Jew, I mean it also because we can differentiate between the Jewish whom is descendant from Yaakov, Israel, peace upon him, or the Jewish whom converted to Judaism 1100 years, the Russian Jew, whom is, we call them, or they will known as a Khazarian Jew. So the United Kingdom, November 2nd, 1917, pledged, gifted our homeland to the Khazarian Jew. At that exact day, our misery was started. At that exact day, the new history, the new bloody history in the Middle East was started. But our misery did not stop there. It was started there in 1948. Anyone know the word Al-Nakba? Anyone know here the word Al-Nakba? Al-Nakba means the catastrophe. Al-Nakba means the expelling of the Palestinian people from their homeland. My late father, Muhammad, was born in our original village, Barga, but he was expelled. And he enforced to live the remainder of his life in a refugee camp. I personally born in a refugee camp. This is the question. This is the issue. This is the issue behind October 7. This is the issue behind the Palestinians. There is a very rich history, unfortunate history, of course, but there is a lot of issues that, not millions of issues that had been happened, but unfortunately we did not have the ability or the chance to tell our story. Story is very different between, we should differentiate between story and reporting. We did not have the chance to tell the people our story. But not only this, the media, the complicit media, the controlled media, and when I say controlled media, we know that the vast majority of the Western media is controlled by the Zionist movement itself. And this is not anti-Semitic because I'm a Semitic person, so that they cannot accuse me of being anti-Semitic. These media giant channels and screens did not give us the chance to tell our story. Part of this media up to date is still parroting and repeating the same exact false narrative about October 7th, such as decapitating and killing, beheaded the 40 Israeli child, burned to death in the oven, Palestinian Israeli children in the oven in front of their parents, and all of this stuff up to date, which completely proved that this does not happen. But still, many of the complicit media giant and outlet in the Western countries still repeating this narrative. So our misery was, there is a history behind this. We cannot analyze or discuss October 7th without taking it, or without visiting the root of the issue. Two schools of thought, just to end this particular, to conclude, we have, when it came to October 7th or any question in the life, we have two schools of thought. The Russian, in October 7th at least, we have rational school of thought, which I personally represented, and the Zionist school of thought. Rational school of thought is saying that it's fact, October 7th, it's fact, but we cannot analyze it, isolated it from its historical background. We should shed light on the history behind October 7, the reason behind October 7. And in economy, in management, it's called root symptom analysis. I mean, any problem you want to solve it, you should back to its root. And this school of thought, this rational school of thought, was also represented by the United Nations Secretary General, His Excellency Antonio Guterres, in his speech in October 26th, October 24th, and October 24th, before the Security Council, when after he denounced and condemned October 7th, when he said that, but it was not happened in a vacuum, so that he took it to its root. This is the first school of thought, the rational school of thought. The other school of thought, which is the Zionist school of thought, whom want us to believe that we, the Palestinian, the Israeli, the international community, want to sleep, want to our bed in October 6th, Friday, and there is no occupation, there is nothing, and the Palestinians living in a normal life, and there is no occupation, nothing happened. Then just October 7th happened as if it is the very first day on the galaxy or in the history of the world, and we should not even think 1 hour before October 7th. This is the Zionist school of thought. But today, unfortunately, this school of thought is still supported by many Western countries, and they used to use one slogan to it, which is Israel have the right to defend itself, but no one of them dare to say that, and the Palestinians have the right to defend themselves, and the Palestinians have the right to liberate themselves. This is the rational and irrational school of thought when it came to October 7th.
A very common question people ask about Hamas. How does Palestine see Hamas? As a political group, or as a resistance movement, or something else?
Before we start this podcast, I used to say that we have the picture of the great man, Mahatma Gandhi, and also we have another picture to the great martyr, Bhagat Singh. Two schools of thought in your struggle against the British colonization. You, the Indian people, have two schools of thought. One of these schools of thought, which is represented by the great man, Mahatma Gandhi, which is a peaceful school of thought of resisting the colonial, the British colonial. And there is another school of thought, which was utterly, completely also supported by many of them Indian people at that time, which represented by Bhagat Singh, the great martyr Bhagat Singh. Both of those school of thought, the 180 degree between their thought, how to liberate and how to become free. This is normal. This is not the first time in the history. We have a very good experience, and we have a rich history, Indian rich history, when it came how to resist, how to become free. The same exact issue in Palestine. There are two schools of thought. One of those schools of thought, which is belief of the military resistance, and the other school of thought, which represented by President Abbas, which is belief of the international law, peaceful resistance. But guess what? Even President Abbas, according to the Israeli official, is a terrorist man, but he's a terrorist diplomat with a tie, terrorist with a tie. So the issue is whether we are like or we did not like it, whether we are in agreement or disagreement. This is the life. This is the life worldwide. You're going to find it. When it came to the different political factions among the Palestinian people, likewise you in India, how many political factions you have? More than 36, which is represented in the two chambers of the parliament. But you're going to find part of this is very close to each other. But many of these, or some of these at least, political parties going against each other 180 degrees. But does this mean that one of those political party or one of those political faction denied the right of the other political faction to exist in India? No. This is the life. Even in Israel, there is a lot of political faction. Part of this political faction even did not believe of the existence of the Israeli Israel itself. Israel as a state is not prohibited for this political faction. I mean, one of the orthodox political faction, and they are used to raise even our flag, the Palestinian flag, and other political factions in Israel did not believe of our existence. We are not existed. For them, we are not existed. So political life is very rich everywhere else, and we should, as international community, what apply in India, what apply in X or Y country should be applied in Palestine. You cannot say that this political faction in Palestine, because I'm against it, should not be exist. This is the nature of a human relation worldwide.
Why Gaza and Rafah are so important, or especially from Israel point of view?
It's
This, like,
important for no. I gonna make some correction. All the entire Palestinian land, historical Palestinian land. Not only this, according to their beliefs, that the biblical Israel. Do you know what is the biblical Israel?
No.
Biblical Israel, according to their belief, any one of you can just check in his Google and all of this information in Google, unfortunately, but we did not have again the chance to tell it. Biblical Israel, which is the Israel, the promised land of Israel, which is from Nile River to Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, part of Turkey, South Sudan, or Jordan, of course, Palestine, and South Sudan. All of this is biblical Israel. They are believing of biblical Israel. But when it came, how could they conduct it or reach to biblical Israel? It was a declared position by the fugitive from justice, the Israeli prime minister recently. He declared his position regarding biblical Israel. But how could they conduct or reach to biblical Israel? First and foremost, they should remove, ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people. It's not only in Gaza, in West Bank, everywhere. And it's a declared position from many of their officials. This is our land, according to them. This is our land. And the Palestinians should not be here. And they declared themselves wide, loud, and declare Palestinian from Gaza should be expelled and ethnically cleansed, just to your knowledge. And of course, to your audience.
Okay.
It's not a new plan to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people from Gaza. It was there a long time ago, early 1950s. It was there, and they tried it. At the very beginning of 1967, at the very beginning of the occupation, of 1967, it was there. The plan was there. Just it's matter of time for them.
A report says that nearly 70,000 people lost their lives, and many of them were women and children. Do you see this as a war crime, or it is something more serious under international law?
Two things. Just yesterday, one of the Israeli officials even said that it was 10% of the population of Gaza had been lost their life, even direct or indirect to the war itself. And this is the same exact estimation of many UN entities and other respected international respected international organization. We are talking about 10% and the average of the Palestinians lost their life or injured in Gaza Strip, which mean I did not mean that whom is killed only directly, but some of my mother, for example, was lost her life because a lack of sufficient medicine and all of this. So this is the life. My family there in Gaza. Vast majority of them so far whom is killed directly by the Israeli Western war machine is 71,400, something like this. I'm talking about a list. We have the names. All of them is innocent people. All of them without any exceptional. And when I say all of them, I mean it because all the names is there. And Israel yet did not pointed at his finger to say that, yes, this is a terrorist or this is a military fighter or anyone. All the names is there and it is published. Vast majority of them, 75%, is women and the children. Unfortunately, this number is still will going to increase, because the consequence of the war is not limited to that time, because many of the injured people will go, unfortunately, to lose their life because of insufficient, of course, medicine and insufficient medical treatment to them. So that when we talk about the number, we are talking about 71,500 something, like, or 400 and something like this, who has lost their life directly at the hands of the Israeli occupation.
Are you expecting support from Islamic countries, and which Islamic country or any other country they have come forward and provided a humanitarian aid?
It's not, this is the point. This is one of the main critical issue that I should all the time say, that we should be extra careful when we tackle the Palestinian issue. The Palestinian struggle is not limited to the Arab or to the Muslim people. This is the exact narrative that the Israeli, the Zionist movement is trying to corner us as a Palestinian. This is a Muslim against Jewish, which is completely not true. Just to tell you, my very first boss in the Ministry of Planning and International Cooperation was a Jewish man. The late, of course, his name is Ilan Halevi. When I'm gonna take you to my office now, I'm gonna show you many of the pictures for Jewish people and the Christian people who is leading our struggle. The vast majority of the writers, the outspoken persons worldwide, whom is defending the Palestinian question is Jewish, not only Muslim or Christian. So to portray it as if the Muslim is supporting, no, I should be extra caution here. Yes, the Muslim, the Hindus here in India, the vast majority of the support that we used to receive it, we still receive it, and we will continue to receive it. It came from the Hindus people here in India. Yes. And many of them, yes, of course, many of them is coming to me in person in the embassy. How could we support? How could we help? Just to remind you, the great Mahatma Gandhi, the Hindus man, is the one who refused the partition plan of Palestine. Jawaharlal Nehru, he's not a Muslim, but he's one of the key persons for our political life as a Palestinian, as Arab. You're gonna find a lot of names after Nehru up to date in Gaza, in Palestine. Nehru name is very famous name in there. So no, we cannot portray it like this. But yes, we still receive a lot of support from all around the world. Just to remind you and to remind your respected audience, in United Kingdom, who's the one who is leading the demonstration in the campuses in United States of America? The Jewish student whom was led the demonstration against the Israeli occupation and against the war in Gaza. In Australia, one of the very biggest rally, the very biggest demonstration was in Australia. And all of them or the vast majority of them, of course, is the Christian people. So that we still receive a lot of support from all around the globe.
That's great.
And to be very frank, this support, the vast majority of it came from non-Muslim people. I did not mean the Muslim is given up, but because the Muslim is only 2 billion worldwide, but the other faith, the other people, the other is not Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindus, and all of those is still supporting the Palestinian question.
India recognized Palestine in 1988, and
Yes.
leaders like Indira Gandhi and Yasser Arafat shared a very close bond. Do you feel still India is emotionally connected, or it has become more strategic?
No, I should take you a
Back
bit
to
more before 1988, mid 1970. One of the very first nation or state that recognized Palestine Liberation Organization as the sole and legitimate 100%. It was because the vast majority of the people here is our brothers and sisters, the Hindus. And of course, Muslim and Hindus was used to support the Palestinian question mid-1936, Palestinian Revolution. Mahatma Gandhi, the great Mahatma Gandhi, as I already mentioned, he refused the partition plan of Palestine. by the United Nations General Assembly in 1947. So the relation was very strong, still strong, and will continue. We are working together. Together, we can work to strengthen and to develop this relation in the upcoming years, of course. Yes, India is still there. India had a very principal role or very principal position when it came to the two-state solution. India loud and clear supporting the two-state solution, still backing the Palestinian question in the United Nations General Assembly. Less than 2 months ago, India was voted in favor in many of those resolutions in the General Assembly and voted in favor, of course, in many of these resolutions. India is supporting the Palestinian question by at many levels. And personally, as the ambassador of Palestine, I used to be received in the Ministry of Planning and International, in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, one division in particular. It took me just a call phone, then 1 or 2 days. I might be the most ambassador who used to visit the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We have a good relation, and we are looking for, by the grace of God, of course, and the support of all of you, to enhance and to take this relation a step forward. Even if it is not in a political level, there is many levels to cooperate and coordinate with India and Indian government and Indian people.
Okay. Even after ceasefire, military action continues. Why Israel is not facing strong consequences despite global criticism?
Listen, this is a very deep question. Israel used to be a state above the international law since the day first of its establishment. I just to remind myself, you, and your respected audience, Israel was the birth certificate of Israel, which is Resolution 181, 1947. Or the partition, or it called also the partition plan of Palestine, was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. This resolution is the birth certificate for 2 states, Palestinian state and Israel. But unfortunately, at that time, with the full military support, again by the Western country and by the complicity of Western country, Israel succeeded to occupy 78% of the historical land of Palestine. Israel succeeded to expel and ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people from their historical land. Israel did everything since the very first ever day of its life establishment. Up to today, Israel is a country, is a state, not country, is a state above the international law. Yes, there is a huge complicity, huge turning back to the Palestinian people, or a huge acceptance of the Israeli acts and law acts by the international community, especially the Western country, of course. And this is the case. It's not a new case. Israel, even with all the criticism that they are facing, they for them, it's a logic of power. It's the might create right. What's the meaning of the international law when there is someone is supporting Israel to trample the international law? What's the meaning?
Is the international law same
no,
for all the countries?
International law can apply only for the poor country, weak country, but international law cannot apply for Israel. International law is not apply in the very powerful country. Take a look just recently what happened for His Excellency President Maduro. What happened? What will going to happen in Greenland? All of this. Where is the international law? I'm the son of the United Nations. I spent there 8 years, and I'm the expert who's talking about the international law and the Security Council and all of this. International law apply only in the back of the southern country. Even when it came, just to say something here. When international ICJ and ICC raised their voice, the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, loud and clear. He said that he was threatened, and someone, or Western country, I mean, told him this court was created for the African people and Russia, not for Israel. One word, loud, and it's there. It's there. All the violation of international law is very clear, but no one know because. Especially here, the vast majority of the people is because you have your own challenges, daily challenges and daily concern. But when it came to the international law, it means nothing. When there is a powerful country who is trampling the international law, treating it as nothing exists also.
Are you ready to have a debate with Ambassador of Israel?
I'm the only one who's loud and clear, used to call, and I will continue to call you and all your colleagues, all the people in India. I'm ready to sit in a stage in front of the audience, all the Indian audience, and let him, the Israeli ambassador, even propose the question. Corner me. I did not want any question in advance. The Israeli ambassadors, then moderators, audience, all of you, and start ask the question that he gonna propose.
Okay.
Is it clear? Is it fair? I'm ready to challenge not only the Israeli ambassador and the fugitive from justice, the Israeli prime minister. And anytime. Life, it should be life. I'm ready.
Very nice.
Ask us about history, about terror, about the promised land itself. I'm ready to discuss it, even from the Torah, the Old Testament.
We'll plan something like this
I'm
in the
ready.
future.
I'm ready, please. And don't tell me. Just
Okay.
corner me or call my office. The ambassador should cut everything. We already had an agreement from the Israeli ambassador to have, and we have the question and everything, and I will deal in it.
After the war, what do you think? Who should govern Gaza?
War in Gaza.
Yeah.
War in Gaza.
Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, or an international administration?
Why international administration? I'm asking why. We will expert people. We, with all the devastating measures and situation that we under a pressure of the Israeli and many others, of course. In West Bank, we still survive. Do you know that we did not get our full salary since November 2021? Did I surprise you? We are facing an strangulation measures, financial strangulation measures by the Israel. But even though we still manage, we still act, we still doing our best so that we can govern ourselves. Why you want to try, or the international community to try something will not work? Will it happen that, will you accept any?
No, never.
Why you did not accept the British colonization to rule you? Why? Why? I'm asking. Why? For all of you, why you went in a very some places very bloody military resistance against and very peaceful resistance against your Cuba. Why you did not accept them to rule you?
Because
you
want
are
it
free
outside.
people. You are capable, and we are capable, and we are free people. But who will rule us as a Palestinian? There is an election. We should go to the election, and anyone will go to win the election. He should rule. Easy. Why it should be applied for the Israeli, the democracy for the Israeli? Then they can declare that we are the only democracy in the Middle East, but it is not applied for the Palestinian. Two types. There is people whom ruled by polit. We, unfortunately, ruled by polit, and others, the Israeli by polit, by election.
Okay. After
we are ready to go to the election, and anyone will go to win the election, he should rule. Is it simple?
Yeah,
it's simple.
simple.
Why it is acceptable in India but should not be acceptable in?
After West Bank settlement and Gaza's destruction, what is the future of a two-state solution?
The future at the hand of the international community. if the international community is still treating and will continue to treat Israel as the spoily, grumpy teenager, there is no two-state solution. But if the international community decided it's time to implement the two-state solution with peaceful, trusted, legal, economic measures that they can take it against the Israeli occupation, Israel will surrender. Israel will put an end to its occupation within less than 3 months. Stop flying to Israel. It's easy. We will not going to fly to Israel because it is an occupation power. Is it easy? Is it peaceful? I did not want to fly. I did not want to activate my national I did not want to travel to Israel. Stop trading with the Israeli settlement. Is it you used to say as international community, Israeli settlement is illegal. Stop trade with the Israeli settlement. Stop invest in the Israeli settlement. It's easy.
Several Arab countries, they have normalized their relation with Israel. Do you see this as a political pressure or as a betrayal?
It depends how could we use it, because by the end of the day we cannot control the people. We the Palestinian cannot tell the people, cannot tell the Indian what is right and what is wrong. But India, for example, know what is right and what is wrong. And when we or India want, I will not go because I'm the ambassador of India, so that I have the right to take India as a very great example. When India decided to do something, India can do these things. I mean, when we can take it from 2 points of view. It's a relative advantage, and let me just say something very important. When India started its wide relation with, or to enhance it is at the early 1990 with Israel, they called Yasser Arafat, and before they started it, then they informed him we are going to a new stage with our relation with Israel. He was very smile, and he told them that this is a relative advantage for us because we're gonna utilize, we are pretty sure that India will utilize its good relation with Israel to enhance the peace process itself. We, the Palestine Liberation Organization, already signed an Oslo Accord, recognize the state of Israel, so that we have no problem in that at all. Just how to use your good relation, goodwill with Israel to pressure Israel to abide by the international law. Is it fair? We are not asking anyone to launch a war against Israel, just to pressure Israel to abide by international law. Or even if he did not want to pressure Israel, when he have an agreement with Israel, political agreement or economic agreement or any type of agreement, just to make sure that this agreement should be abided by the international law, by the Security Council resolution, by the blacklist of the Human Rights Council, which mean all of these agreements should not extend to the Israeli settlement. It's easy.
If Indira Gandhi and Yasser Arafat were alive today, do you think that the situation of Palestine would be different? If yes, then why?
No, listen, we have a history, and there is, and I think Aristo said one day that no one can swim in the river, right? Because water is running, and there is a lot of water already run under the bridge, so that we cannot apply what we have today based on what we have 30 years ago. But yes, we have a history. We are very proud of this history. We are very proud of the great relation between Yasser Arafat and personal relation, of course, but between Palestine and India at large, and still this relation. I'm very grateful when I used to travel in India here and where I will not go to. And I used to hear that Yasser Arafat was here, even here in some of the schools. I visit one of the schools, then I discovered that Yasser Arafat was in this school. I visit one of the malls, then I discovered that one man in the old market, he was there and he have an box shop in the old market.
Okay.
Then I discovered that he already have a picture with Yasser Arafat. There, I mean, I did not meet him in person, but I met his grandson. They are very proud that they have these pictures, and they used to display it. And if you ask them, they have the small picture to Yasser Arafat. There is a history. This history, we are very proud of it. And this history, we can build on it for our collective human future. No one is safe until
Yes,
everyone
exactly.
is safe.
From the people of India, what do you expect? Only sympathy or a moral and a humanitarian support?
No, sympathy is there, to be very
yes.
frank. Sympathy is there. Even the ones whom not very close to the Palestinians.
Sorry to interrupt.
No.
Each day, like every Indian, they pray for Palestine.
The vast majority of them have, but you know, even the ones whom is at least have some critical to Palestine, they used to criticize us because of October 7th. And the Israeli narrative succeeded, unfortunately, to connect what happened to in October 7th to issue happened in. But this is falsifying of the narrative, falsifying of the consciences of the people. But I'm also ready to explain myself in this regard. Yes, there is a huge sympathy and empathy by the Indian people with the Palestinian question. But let us also, and this is a very important call through you, through your screens, to call for how to convert it, how to take this sympathy and empathy step forward, how to enhance this sympathy and empathy to practical level for the people in Gaza whom did not have even shelters today, and many of them and many of their child was died because of the cold weather. There is many ways, and if there is a will, there is a way. I'm here in the embassy. I'm here. My number is available, or my office number is available. Whole entire India, you can reach out to me. If there is a sympathy, yes, you are very welcome. But if this sympathy you would like to translate it to a practical level, yes, we are ready.
We'll do that.
Yes, of course.
I promise on this platform we'll do definitely for Palestine.
I come again.
I'll do something for Palestine. I'll ask my people.
Let me just say something, because yes, thank you so much. Because once you say Palestine, this is ours, not ours as a Palestinian. This is because Palestine is the litmus test. What happened in Gaza during the last 2 years, the ongoing televised massacres, the live stream massacres will not stop in Gaza. And you can see what happened in Caracas. You are watching what will happen, God forbidden, in other places in Europe itself. Any political commentator, and the Indian people is a very strong readers and very good readers, and many of them is a good political commentators, know that it was started in Palestine, not only in Gaza, long time ago. Trampling of the international law was started by the United Kingdom when they issued the bill for declaration, continue by expelling the Palestinian people, and will continue, and it will not stop in Palestine. No one is safe again until everyone is safe. And just to remind you all that when the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court said that they told him the criminal court was not created for the Israel or the Western country. It was created for Africa and Russia.
Okay, my last question. How should history remember Palestine? Only as a conflict or as a story of courage and resilience?
No, absolutely story of courage and resilience. I'm the one who was born in a refugee camp. And today I'm stand here. My late father, my late mother was not able to write their names even. Yes, but they stand strong and push me very hard to make sure that I am well-educated person. So that resilience. We are the one who is still, as a Palestinian people, who is still raising the flag of resistance, raising the flag of the rights, raising the flag of your collective future as a human being. If they succeeded to finalize us, to eliminate us, to exterminate us, no one will be safe.
I hope your words will help the people to understand this situation in a more better way.
I'm ready. You told me that. Are you ready to?
Yes,
I'm ready. I'm ready even to, if you want to back again with more harsh question regarding the
I'll do that
anti-Semitic,
in the near
that is it
future.
Jewish versus Muslim or Muslim versus Jewish? I'm ready. Prepare all the question and back to me.
Okay, I'll do that in the near future. Thank you so much
Sure,
again for joining us.
sure.
Today, we didn't discuss conflict. We tried to understand the human cost behind it. Whether it is Gaza or any part of the world, humanity should not be selective. Until next time, stay informed, stay human, and stand for what is right.